Hi everyone, my name is Genevieve. I'm a demonstrator in Markham, Ontario, Canada. Thanks for letting me share with you. I had team members that had some questions about using the host code, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to share some information about using the host code, maybe when you'd use a host code, and the actual practicality of setting up a host code. So first, let me explain what a host code is. It's a code that is generated by Stampin' Up! Through their system. I'll show you how to do it. And the purpose, like when you would want to use a host code, the purpose is whenever you want to bundle orders together under one workshop number in an attempt to accrue Stampin' rewards. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. That is when you would want to use a host code. So you don't have to use it every time. There are many times I don't use a host code, but there are times when it could be beneficial. So uh, let me first do the screen share. I think I can dive right into all the different ways to use host codes, but I think the best thing first is to see if I can screen share and show you how to set up a host code. So let's see if we can get that started. Okay, so here's the demonstrator website. This is, my page or whatever, you'd log in with your demonstrator number, and then you click ordering here and it will open the order. So it generates a unique order number right here, and then you're going to select the host. So just to make it easy, I selected myself, Genevieve Co. And then right underneath you see get host code. Actually, why don't we click that question mark? Can you see that? It says a host code is a unique code that will allow customers to add their order to your workshop in OLO, online ordering. Okay, that's what OLO stands for. So how can I explain this? So let's click the host code. So we'll click the host code, see, and it generates a code right here. Host codes can only be generated under a workshop order. It will not, that you cannot generate a host code under a demonstrator order or under a customer order. It must be a workshop order, because you remember the purpose is so that other people or other orders can be added as part of the same workshop number. Okay, so this is our little code here, host code. And then what I do is I hit continue. And then I put in where I'm going to ship to. So since I'm the host, I'm going to put myself here. Okay, and then I'm going to just go up and save and exit. Okay, so now that host code, that workshop is saved right here. So instead of clicking new workshop order, you'll click modify existing order right here. So we'll click that, and then you'll see I actually have a number of host codes open, but this is the one I just opened right here. Okay, 6ZRC67J. This is a host code. Now, when would I use this host code? What it was actually designed for, I'll stop share for a minute. So what it was actually designed for is when you're doing a home party, for example, there's a host like Tanya, I'm just using a pseudo name, say there's or Susie Stamper. So Susie Stamper is holding a party. She's invited her 5 friends to come. She's invited her 20 friends to come. Only 5 of them can come. But the rest of them can still order as a part of her party just by using that host code. And so this way, Susie Stamper can still get more host rewards besides just from the 5 people that might actually attend her party. Other people who aren't attending can still place orders, but have it count to her party. So that's what the host code was designed for. So let's see how someone would do that. So let's go back to sharing my screen here. Okay, So what I'll do to prepare Susie for her party, I'll say, I know there's some people who aren't able to come to your party. Please share this host code with them. And I copy that host code, and I'd probably start a little email and say, here you go, Susie, here's some wording that you can use when you're, for the people who said they can't come to your party, let them know they can still shop for fun kits and crafting supplies and still have it count to your party. Just use this host code. And then I'll paste in that host code. So now what are her guests supposed to do? What they have to do is they have to go to her website. So my website is genevieve.stampinup.net. They will click the Shop Now button. Okay, and so then they're ready to shop. So they decide that they're going to, of course, maybe they're new. I would recommend that they get a kit. They could get one of these all-inclusive kits, maybe the looking up card kit, lots of happy card kit, any of that. So now here's where it goes. So they're ready to shop. They're ready to order this. They're going to add to their bag. Okay, so let's look at the shopping bag. Right here on the bottom left corner, it says, do you have a host code? Enter it here, click apply. So I'm going to paste that host code in, click apply, and see how it says the host code 6ZNRC67J has been applied to this order. The host for this host code is Genevieve Co, because I put myself as the host for that workshop. Okay, so whoever's ordering would just continue on, check out, and then it functions just like any other online order. The tax and the shipping is calculated just like any online order. So in Canada, the tax and shipping would be $9.95 shipping, and the tax in Ontario is 13%. It's exactly like any other online order or individual order, except that the amount that she orders, the merchandise amount, this $48, will be counted towards that workshop that I had opened. Well, in this case for me, but for Susie Stamper. Does that make sense? We don't have a comment box. I'm realizing you're going to be watching this video later, so it's not live, but I'm sure you can speak to your team leader if you have any questions about that. So that is basically how it works. So if I were to order, unfortunately, I'm not going to order. I should have had a real order to put in to demonstrate how this works. So I'm not going to put it in. But if I did put it in and we go back to our ordering, here's an example. So this one, there was an order here. And you will see if we hit continue here. Okay, maybe it's under merchandise, sorry. You will see that there was an online order under this host code. Next customer, maybe. Yeah, okay, so you can see right here, I placed an online order under Louisa's host code, and it shows up right here, 136.75. Okay, so this gets into another way to use a host code. And this is actually a pretty common way. I think even Stampin' Up! Is encouraging it. I even remember one year in convention, Sarah was talking about doing product-based classes. So here's quite a frequent way that I'll use the host code. So in this case, my customer Louisa wants to have a party. She wants to make 10 Christmas cards. I suggest the Memories and More kit. And so she tells me the head count. So she lets me know that 7 people are coming to her party. And so I say, okay, thank you very much. And I get her to e-transfer me or to send me the money for the class fees that I decided. I believe I set the class fee at $35 because that would cover the cost of the envelopes for the 10 cards for each person, and each person will get a full pack of the Memories and More kit, which is $15 in Canada. Anyway, so I ended up charging, I think, each guest $35. So she sent me the money for 7 times 35. And then what I did is I went into my own online store and I ordered 7 Memories and More kits and whatever I needed, 2 packs of envelopes, and I think I needed some cardstock to make for the bases for the cards. So I ordered that under the host code that I opened for Louisa. And so now, although the products have been shipped to me, I have received them because I ordered them from the online store. And remember, that's just an independent system. I closed it, paid the shipping, and the following day it was shipped out to me, and whatever traveled by UPS truck to get to me. So I have all her items. Her party is this Sunday. I have all her items. I've prepped everything, but her workshop is still open, so that on the day of her party on Sunday, I can say to the guests, now you've made these 10 great cards, you have these extra Memories and More card pieces still left. Why not why not purchase the matching note cards and envelopes? Or why not purchase a sentiment stamp to stamp the inside of your cards? Why not purchase some ink pads? Anyway, so I will encourage further orders at Louisa's party. And any of those orders coming through, I will just put through as normal as part of her workshop order. But when we get to the stamp and reward section, it will not only total, the computer will not only total up the orders that are a part of the actual party that happens on Sunday, but as well will include the orders that were generated online with that host code. So the 136 dollars of product that I ordered for her party will be counted as part of the totals, which then determines how much stamp and reward she receives. So those already, I've given you 2 ways to use the host code. So one way is that if people can't attend the party and they want to put in an order to support the host, they can use that host code that you've generated. The other way you can use it is if you are doing a product-based class, you need the product ahead of time for the class so that you can prep it, but you want the product that you're ordering to count towards the host's party sales because, I mean, it's her guest, she's the one hosting the party. And so then I use the host code myself to get the products ahead of time, but what I order for her counts towards her stamp and rewards totals. So that's how you do a product-based classes. Any of the kit classes would be like that. So, you know, if she had wanted to do the advent calendar, I'd pre-order the advent calendars under a host code for her. And then that way it allows the workshop to stay open in case at the actual day of the party when they're making the calendars, they can order some more and still count towards the same party totals. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to give you a couple other ways to use the host code, and then hopefully you'll be able to feel comfortable enough to use the host code yourself to benefit you and your business. Another way to use the host code is as an online ordering special. So that's what I do. Many demonstrators do this. They open a host code at the beginning of the month, and then any online orders that they receive, or, you know, or what I do is I really market that one host code and say, if you place an online order in November using this host code, I will gift you with X. Sometimes it's a tutorial, sometimes it's free rhinestones or whatever. And sorry, of course the phone's going to ring when I'm recording. When the, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Right, so you can open a host code at the beginning of the month. So this is for yourself as a demonstrator, and you can promote that host code to your customers and tell them to order online throughout the month, and you can reward them with a little gift, because what's happening is all the online orders that will come through using that host code will help you to get free stamp and rewards. And so sometimes you can use those rewards to gift everybody with a free package of rhinestones or a free, you know, free doilies or something like that. So that's another way to use the host code. I've heard of demonstrators you know, that place multiple orders in a month just for themselves for whatever supplies they need and things like that, they will go in, start a host code, and then go in and order themselves through their online store using the host code, so that that way they can accrue the host rewards. So one question that comes up with this is, do you still get your commission and instant income if you're putting in, because normally as a demonstrator I might order, you know, as a demonstrator order, not going into my online store. Yes, you still get your commission. It's just instead of the instant income, which is, you know, taken off right away, and so then your credit card is charged less on a demonstrator order, you'll get deferred income. So they just put the commission back into your bank account. I think it's a week later. So you still get the same demonstrator discount or reward as you would anyway, but this way you are able to accrue host rewards if you have enough orders. Now remember, the minimum amount to start accruing host rewards is $200. In Canada, $200. I think in the US it's $150. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So sometimes I'm not a big online demonstrator, so quite often I will not hit the $200 in orders online in a month with that host code. But however, any orders I do receive, I do a live class at the end of the month. So when I get orders at my live class, that's when I'll close that host code, so that I'll combine those orders that I get in person with the ones that I get online, and then I'll get some extra host rewards that way. Another way that I use the host code, it's pretty much all variations of the same thing, is if I'm doing an event and the customer might be there in person with me, but they happen to live far away. So it's not easy for them to come and pick up their order, because in a workshop order, everything's shipped to one address when you close it. So they might say, can you ship it to me? And I will often say, sure, I can. Just know that you're paying the individual customer shipping, which in Canada is $9.95 or 10%, whichever is higher. And then I will input that order for them as a customer through my online store using the host code that I've generated. So that way, because as demonstrators, when we do our own classes and people place orders in our classes, we get the stamping rewards. And so in order to have her order still count towards that class that I did, towards Stampin' Rewards, I would input her order as a customer on the online store. So let me see if I can show you. This also sort of trips people up. So see how you go to the my online store, I would click the shop now. So this is whatever, Michelle, who she came to my retreat, but she lives far away, but she wanted to place an order. She wants it shipped directly to her. And I still want her to get her order directly to her, but I still want to get benefit to count towards that retreat weekend orders, for example. So I will go to my online store. Let's just do kits again because they're really easy. She'll order this Looking Up card kit, add it to the bag. She'll order Continue Shopping. She'll order maybe another kit here, add it to the bag. Okay, so then I showed you this part. So we go to the shopping bag, we input the host code. It seems to have remembered that I put it in. Okay, and then I am going to check out. But this time I'm checking out as her because she's the one placing the order. So if she's never shopped with Stampin' Up! Before, I always do this guest checkout. Okay, and I'll put her email address in, her first name, everything. She will have given me her credit card. The only thing to remember is when you're doing an online order, you need those 3 digits to input the credit card, and you'll put all that information in. If she's ever shopped and created an account with Stampin' Up! Before, the guest checkout will not work. And so what I would do is log in. So for example, I would log in and it'll say this account is already tied to an existing account. Please log in. And so I won't know all her login information. I won't know all her login information. So I would log in as myself, and then I would log in as myself, but I would put her shipping address. So the only hitch is that sometimes what happens is that, I think most of the time it happens, it'll have my name, but it'll have her address. So what I do in the second category there is I put attention whoever it's actually going to. So Michelle. So it'll have my name. It's just automatically generated because it's under my account, because I have an account with Stampin' Up! For online shopping. And so that's what I would do. And then, so when she gets the parcel, they'll say Genevieve Co., care of Michelle, and her address and everything. So she still gets everything, but because the host code is attached to it, then she will get the, then I will get, as the demonstrator, the benefit of those orders so that it ties into that one workshop and hopefully will help increase my Stampin' rewards. Okay, so this was a quick and dirty explanation about the host code, how to use it, ways to use it, and how to actually set one up. I hope that you can start trying to use it. It's a great way to I find it a great way to restock my supplies. So I'll use the Stampin' Rewards to kind of restock the card stock that I used in card class. I also, as I mentioned, use it a lot for private parties where it's product-based, where I have to order a bunch of product in order to, run that class. So there's no reason why you couldn't just order the supplies as a demonstrator order and use them at the private class and everything. But I always like to see if there's a way I can reward the host for gathering her friends together. And so sometimes if people have already paid for a class, they may not order as much at the class. And so the host might not get to that 200 level or 150 level to get the host rewards. So that's why I like to, any pre-orders I do for that private party, I like to put it under her host code so that she gets the benefit. Wherever I can give a host free stuff, I want to do that because it just makes them happier hosts. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share today. If you have any questions, you can touch base with your team leader. And I hope this has been helpful for you. Bye for now.